Well, you know the track, right? Your line's okay, but you got a lot wrong with this car. When you apply the brakes, it was like I was going to get a milkshake.
After almost 3 years, I finally got the car back out on a track day. In this episode, we're going to talk about the problems that came up and what I had to do to fix them. And then we'll see if those improvements brought back the magic that makes this car so much fun to drive. After what I thought was merely a brake bias problem in my first session, I made some adjustments and went out again, this time with an instructor, Freddie. But the problem didn't go away, and it only got worse. And when something like this happens, it's such a distraction. It's hard to get into the flow of the track. The problem got so bad that even Freddie told me what I already knew. The car was not safe to continue. So that did not go as planned. Here is my problem. You can see how it just got easier there, and easier, and easier, and then tight, and easy. I don't know if we can even see that, but I'm going to go ahead and turn these and see if pads move much. I can see a little bit, just a little bit, but it's amazing how much that translated to the wheel. So, these rotors are coming off, and new ones are going on. So here's what the kit came with originally. It had this black coating on there that I guess you can kind of sand off, but I didn't really try very hard. They are directional, and this is, I guess, their standard type of alloy. But I wanted something a little better, so I didn't use these. I went to this Spec 37, which is a little bit more of a racing alloy. And this is the one that I apparently warped. Here's the disc I'm going to be replacing today on both sides. These are also Spec 37 alloy discs, and they're directional. Let me show you the pads I'm going to use. Years ago, I started with these pads that are indicated with the blue line that you can see kind of go away as they get hot. Then I switched out to the BP40 compound, which is shown here in the black line. And because those weren't vented, that was a likely cause of my brake rotors warping. So now I'm going to use the BP35 compound, which is shown here in the green line. For my intended use, this is what Willwood recommended. According to Dave at Willwood's road racing group, there were a few things I could do to make my rotors last longer. In addition to going to less aggressive pads, I needed to get some cold air on the brake rotors. So the problems I'm running into is that there's not enough room over here really to have the duct come in with brake lines and the caliper being where it is. The other option was to run it onto the back on this side, but by doing that, then I have to snake it on here, and I'm not really sure if that's such a good idea with this moving up and down against sharp parts. Probably tear into that. So one of the options is to take the caliper off and see if I can safely put it on this side. That way, there's plenty of room over here for the ducting and a lot less chance of it getting caught on something. So I tried to switch the calipers from one side to the other, and it quickly became apparent that this was never going to work. So the best thing to do is leave the calipers as they were and put the ducts in the trailing position. Okay, so this is my brake duct holder. It's going to stand off about that much. I've got a little kick out on the bottom there. And don't laugh at my welds. Air will come in and hopefully hit this, and then I have cold air hitting this side of the disc, not the outside, unfortunately, but the inside, and then up through the vanes in the middle of the rotor. Now these front ducts are actually functional, and I had ducting on them before, but I can't remember why I took it off, but I did, and I can't find all the cool bends I made to make those ducts work with the ducting I had at the time. So here we are now with these. These are completely functional. There's my protector there for the tire hitting the duct, and then it goes to the back of each one. So that's the fronts, and in case you're wondering about the rears, the rear brakes are already ducted on this car. The scoops are functional. I did that a long time ago. So they come in through the wall, through the floor, and then they go right back out here. And you can see that actually has a little vent that opens up to the inside of the rotor, and that's how those are cooled. But now we have ducts all the way around. I'm going to Watkins, Glen. This is my first time on this track. No runoff, no room for mistakes. What if the brakes don't work? If I wreck, I'll never be able to fix this.
Sometimes you gotta say, what the f***?